and boom goes the dynamite.
Hello, and welcome back once again to still the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show. I am your host, as always, Michael Carvelis. Be sure to follow Daily Dive on social media at Daily Dive Lax. You can also click that on YouTube and type that in, and you'll find us there as well. Or if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. As always, it helps out our show, of course, a bunch. Reminder to go to at Daily Dive Lax on social media and click the link in our bios, and there you will see the Our Store tab. When you go to Daily Dive Store, you'll see the great merchandise, which is the best and most efficient way to support the growth of this show. So check it out, and remember, there is new merchandise coming very soon. As you'll see yesterday on Daily Dive Lax, I teased the new logo, as you'll see. So it'll be fun seeing your reactions to that as we unveil more and more about it. As I said before, it is Friday, November 3rd, 2023. It is 1:02 p.m. Eastern here in the lacrosse universe. And we've got some big news that already is coming through the wire. I'm not reporting this. This was reported about 45 minutes ago. And Dane Smith has signed a brand new 5-year deal with the Buffalo Bandits. Apparently, this was a contract year for Dane. So here it is right here. Dane Smith is back in Buffalo, at least for the time being. So Dane Smith did respond, or so I say, quote this tweet. He said, coming into Buffalo as a 19-year-old, going through ups and downs, no place I'd rather be. I ain't leaving Bandit land. Hashtag let's run it back. So remember, Chris Oruglieri for the Seals got a 5-year deal, where it turns out these career players are getting these big-time deals. I still would like to know how much money these guys get, but that's a story for last season. We can only wish and hope that that'll end up happening. I'm sure it's something the NLL might have considered so far. But shout out to Dane Smith for that. Some of the replies under Dane Smith's tweet are Parker Lewis, who said many pro athletes are fondly remembered for their careers here, some become ingrained into the hearts and souls of the city and loved by the community. You have established yourself as one of those select few. Thank you for choosing Buffalo. We also saw one from Mike, who said, love that you're staying. Woof, woof, Great Dane. And Sabertooth's Burner says king with the crown emoji. As for the Buffalo Bandits post themselves, you've got somebody saying, damn it, that's pretty funny. I guess he thought that, well, since the guy's from Ontario, that maybe he'll come and stay. It's pretty cool. I'm happy for Dane Smith, the reigning finals MVP. Dane Smith, actually, the 2-time league MVP of the NLL. So great stuff there. It is awesome to see that he is sticking with it. I believe he lives in the Buffalo area. So that's awesome. And of course, the PLL just got leaks and rumors that upstate New York might be one of the places for the chaos, according to an insider from the PLL. So that's always interesting and fun. And someone was commenting, well, I wonder if they're calling it upstate, but it's technically Buffalo. And he was kind of mad because it's kind of like West New York. It's not really upstate. I get it. I understand. Some people get mad. And some people like take offense to that kind of stuff. But yeah, Dane Smith, 5-year deal for Buffalo in a contract year. No need to sweat that anymore, Bandits fans. You've got your guy, and he's only 31 years old. What did Dane Smith do last season in the NLL? Well, I'll tell you. Dane Smith finished second in points at 132 and also had 96 assists, which led the NLL. Oh, by the way, 36 goals in case you're counting the rest of that or cannot do math. Dane Smith, of course, broke through and won the finals for the first time after 2 tries. He could not finish the job, but this time it helped that he was in his prime at this point. It's a great job for Dane Smith. Dude's a legend in Buffalo. Dude's a legend in lacrosse. Will go down as one of the greats, and it's incredible. It's really incredible. All right, let's get to this now. Our regular scheduled programming. I believe Dane Smith news came in. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that when I did all these little promotions about the show. So, Tanner Cook has re-signed with the Calgary Roughnecks, I believe, on a 3-year deal. Tanner Cook last season, 74 points, including 50 assists. He also had 39 loosies for the heck of it. The 28-year-old forward, transition, and defensive player. He's an all-around player. So great stuff there. It's funny because even though the Calgary Roughnecks did, I want to say, lose Kurt Malosky to Vancouver, it is very interesting that you've got guys that are sticking with it. And I don't know if that's because they lived there, but I believe they also had another player who they acquired, I believe, or signed there. I'm trying to figure who that is. I should have checked this before. But they got Josh Sanderson, they got Robert Hudson, Thomas Vila. Oh yeah, they lost Mitch Wild. They signed Steve Fryer. Oh yeah, Logan Schuss was the one I was looking at. Good Lord, it took me long enough, right? But Logan Schuss is now there. He came from Vancouver. So it's funny, he leaves Vancouver when Malosky comes, and you're kind of wondering, is this Calgary team going to be A-okay? We'll have to see. I have the 1 through 15 power rankings coming to start the season, but you will guys have to wait a few weeks for that one. But I have made my list this morning, and I'm very excited to share it with you. But I'm not as excited to share it, obviously, because I can't be that excited because I'm not showing it to you now. But yeah, Tanner Cook resigns. Other news in the NLL was somebody else signed. Let me make sure I get this correctly. It is the Seals have signed Riley Curtis to a 1-year agreement. So there's that. But Tanner Cook and Dane Smith, obviously Dane Smith, the big news here for the NLL and, of course, for Daily Dive. When I come back, we're going to talk about the Toronto Rock and how they did this offseason, including the trade that acquired Mark Matthews. But how the Rock look? Do I think they're going to be a very good team? Do I think they're going to win it all? We'll have to check that out. And also later on, don't forget, I'm going to talk about why Faceoffs matter and why that even came up in my brain in the first place. This is Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere, and I know you won't. We'll be right back. Back with you here on this Friday, November the 3rd, 2023. This is Daily Dive. The time is 1:09 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you guys are enjoying your morning / early afternoon. Hope you guys are enjoying your lunch, your work. I don't know what you guys are enjoying, but just know we're enjoying talking lacrosse with you, especially the NLL. Head to Daily Dive Lax on social media. Once again, I'm going to tell you about this. Head there and click the Our Store tab where you will find the best merchandise in the lacrosse world, well, at least according to us, right? When you go there, it's the most efficient and best way to support this show, this program. I know me and myself and producer Joe would love to get more things to be involved through, like purchasing ad runs, because obviously a lot of this is from our pockets. So yeah, it helps us when we create awesome merchandise, with more new merchandise coming very soon, that you guys would want to support the show. So thank you for that. Daily Dive Lax, social media, click the link tree, and then click the Our Store tab, and of course the other great links there as well. Yesterday, I talked about the Saskatchewan Rush. I called them the new look Saskatchewan Rush. And dare I say, I like calling this one the reloaded Toronto Rock. We know that Toronto Rock have a boatload of talent. And of course, they did sign, they did trade for ho-hum, Mark Matthews, of course, from the Saskatchewan Rush, which was at first the biggest story of the time for the NLL. Now, as you'll see here, we've got the theme nights that have come out, of course, for all the teams. We'll focus in on these guys in Toronto. The home opener, of course, Saturday, December 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern, maybe, against Philadelphia. Steel City Rock Night versus New York. 80s night, I like that. Beach Bash, that should be fun. Can we come in bikinis and, like, not me, but, like, can women come in bikinis and, like, I'm not trying to be perverted there. I was trying to say something else about that. Speedos, that'd be a good one too. Guys come in Speedos. Like, there's got to be some kind of a dress code, right? Country night, you come in there, cowboy hats and boots. Indigenous Heritage Night. Kids Night, I don't like the Z and the teddy bear. That's a very, it's like, do they know what kids are into? Because I don't think does the trick anymore. This one is cool. Marvel Superhero Night. I like that a lot. I want to see you kids dress up as Spider-Man and Wonder Woman and Batman. And did I mention Spider-Man? That's one of my favorite superheroes. Not the best one, but one of my favorites. I love the whole Marvel. I love the whole MCU, as they call it. And of course, fan appreciation. They also said they've got some, oh, you saw that. I hope you didn't see that, but there you go. Toronto Rock, obviously, they're going to have a bobblehead night too. I'm not sure where the bobblehead night comes in. Interesting. But yeah, that's the theme nights, but that's not what you guys came here for. Although I do think the MCU thing is pretty cool. We came to talk about the NLL and about lacrosse. Now, I will mention this, and maybe I should start doing it this way. I'll put it this way. On my top 15 teams, I will unveil it like this. Yesterday, I talked about Saskatchewan, and producer Joe has made his power rankings as well. His power rankings have the Saskatchewan Rush at number 10. I have the Saskatchewan Rush at number 12, and yes, of course, both of us have them missing the playoffs. So, that's how I think I'm going. I'm telling you, I do a lot of impromptu thinking while I'm live. It's incredible. That's what I think I'm going to do. So with the Toronto Rock, where do they rank up? I'll be honest, when I was talking to producer Joe about this, we were just kind of going back and forth, and he kept saying the Toronto Rock are the second best team. I'm like, I mean, are we just saying that because of Mark Matthews? Not sure. Nick Rose is a really great goalie. Friend of the show, by the way. They're still going to have Tom Schreiber. Yeah. Latrell Harris, although he is out for the season, which is just a bummer because he was a friend of the show as well. Still is a friend of the show. I mean, that dude was one of my best interviews, in my opinion. Like, that dude was great. He's out for the season, but man, they got some players. They acquired Mark Matthews, like I said. They got Chris Boucher from Halifax. He's not bad either if you don't know lacrosse. They also got Dan Lintner from the Saskatchewan Rush. Listen, this Rock team is good, man. Obviously, Dan Dawson's retirement is a thing. Do they lose some of that toughness? Do they think they have enough veteran guys? I would say they do. I think they do. So producer Joe has the Toronto Rock, like I said, ranked number 2. I wanted so badly to put a different team in there. But my power rankings, after having number 12 Saskatchewan Rush, I've got the number I gave in. Number 2, Saskatchewan. God, you wish, Derek Keenan. No. Number 2, Toronto Rock. I do believe their offense is really good. They hang with the Bandits. I mean, I say that lightly because in the Eastern, rest in peace, Eastern Conference Finals, you've they didn't stand a chance. But I do believe, although Tom Schreiber was hurt, I don't know if he makes a 10-goal difference though. But regardless, I think Toronto Rock give the Buffalo Bandits hell. And I think the Rock are my second best team heading into the 2023-24 season. I'm getting old. But yeah, I think Rock are number 2. I think that's a thing. I think their defense is their calling card. There are 3 things I look for in a team. Obviously, I'm sure everyone looks for this. Really high-powered offense, stout team defense, not just individuals, but like team defense, and the defense is backed up by great goaltending. I see Toronto checks most of those boxes, if not all of them. Yeah. I think Toronto's my second best team. And do I think, I don't want to give my power rankings away, but do I think they can beat everybody in the NLL? No. Obviously not, because I don't have them at number 1. Can they beat 13 of the 15? I think some teams could have a better night and beat them. But I do think Toronto, I think there's a gap between 1 and 2. And that people may not like that because the whole lack of conferences thing is supposed to balance the playing field. So I guess Dane Smith won't be as good anymore. Probably so. He will be good. So I think Toronto, like I'm gonna look at my rankings. The 2 to about 4 or 5 range, I think, are very close. But I don't think they can compete with number 1. I also think the 3 through 5 could also give them a run for their money. So that'll be fun. But yeah, Toronto Rock Reloaded. Mark Matthews, great story. Again, at the time, that was the biggest NLL news of the offseason we had gotten for quite some time. And then the no more conferences came. Then the lacrosse of the freaking Olympics came. And we got all kind of stuff dropping like bombshells. Dyson Williams, number 1. The draft wasn't broadcasted, although it should have been. Wow. Rush changed their logo. It could have been Horny, but it was actually Rowdy. Even though the fans voted for Horny. I will never let them live that down. That's the Internet Hall of Fame moment. And the sad thing is the NLL is not that big, like to actually classify it as that. But in my personal Internet Hall of Fame, Horny is there. But that's regardless of the fact we're talking about Toronto Rock, okay? And I do think Mark Matthews and Chris Bushi matter. Obviously, producer Joe bought me into the fact they're the number 2 team, but I don't think they matter enough to win the championship. I love Nick Rose. I wish Latrell Harris was playing. Do I think if Latrell Harris played this year, they would win? I still don't think that. I think the gap between 1 and 2 is a big deal, regardless of the balance of the playing field with the new structure. And I think the Toronto Rock are the second best team, but 2 through 5 might be interchangeable. Be sure you're following Daily Dive Lax, subscribing, of course, and we're not going anywhere just yet. When I come back, I'm going to talk about a very interesting quote that I've heard many times before, but this one came from Ed Como. We're going to talk about the Georgia Swarm coach and why he thinks faceoffs don't matter, but I think they do. That should be fun. This is Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't. We're right back. When the NLL and Fanatics do update their store, you're going to want to use the link tree in our bio and click the Fanatics affiliate link to help out this here show. Fanatics is officially licensed everything, and that includes the NLL. And don't worry, even if you don't want to buy NLL merchandise just yet, or even when it drops, you're going to want to go there and buy other sports, because as long as you do it through that link, we get credits, and for that, we thank you so much. Be sure you're following, liking, and subscribing, or reposting / tweeting, or whatever Elon Musk wants to call it, at Daily Dive Lax on social media, and of course our YouTube channel. And now it's time to talk about why face-offs matter. This has been a long debate, and it's such a debate that even Steven Stamp, who was our season 2 debut guest on Wednesday's show, which you can check out on our YouTube as well for the replay of that. So on October 27th last week, Steven Stamp wrote for NLL.com and interviewed Ed Como, the head coach of the Georgia Swarm. There were some really good stuff like, this was good. What is your favorite pregame meal? Is it different when you're coaching than it was when you were playing? None. What age did you start coaching lacrosse? He started helping at 15, coached at 24. That's cool. Another interesting one that he talked about was he thinks goalies generally reach the peak of their career at age 30. He thinks Czech Republic would be the first player from outside North America to play regularly in NLL. Who was the best? Who's the GOAT in box lacrosse? Gary Gates, because he changed the game. Whew, hot take there. But John Tavares for his longevity. I'm more of a John Tavares guy, which because I'm a LeBron guy. You can be dominant all you want to. How long did you do it, bro? I'm sorry to Michael Jordan fans if that matters, but that's another story. But one of the most interesting things that he said is a very interesting take that I know he does not share, but shares with a lot of people. That he does share. There you go. How important is winning face-offs to winning games? His answer, no correlation to winning games, but would I rather win or lose them? Yes, I would like to win. Some very good face-off guys in the league, and having the plan to win and lose is important. It is noteworthy that Steven Stamp had to put at the end of his article, answers have been edited for clarity. So I'm assuming we got the point of what Ed Como was saying. Okay. This will not be a classic Mike rant. I'm trying to scale back on those, trying to turn the temperature down. What this will be is me explaining my point of view, albeit preface my comments by saying this is my third year coming up watching the NLL full time. I have not played any sport growing up. I did not want to commit to that in school, nor did my values nor did I care to do that anyways. So I believe I could have been athletic had I stayed in shape and had I played in school and dedicated myself, but that's not the part of the story I'm trying to get to. I believe face-offs 100% do matter. Let me not use the word 100%. I don't want to put a percentage on it, but I've seen a lot of people who know the game that will bring up these stats that say they don't correlate to winning, but then in the same breath, like Ed Cuomo did, they'll say very good face-off guys and having a plan to win and lose is important. Okay, so this is the only sport that does this, okay? It reminds me of the NFL when it comes to kickers. Now, do kickers score touchdowns in like football, like Canadian football or NFL? Do they score touchdowns? Not that I'm aware of, unless like there's a fake. Do they matter though? Can they change a game? Yes, they can. Now, I know that 3 points for kickers is obviously more than this many points for the NLL players. But how many times have you heard the NBA and the NFL say that we want more possessions? Because, well, why is that? Oh, because we have more opportunities to score. Oh, okay. More opportunities to score? Yeah, that's what I thought. So my thing with this is I understand you can throw all these facts and stats. I know Adam Levy probably has a bunch of them, by the way. And I'm not debating those stats. I'm saying if I am a really good team, if I have a really good if I'm the Buffalo Bandits, do I want the Colorado Mammoth winning every single faceoff? No, I don't. Well, why? Why is that? Well, you guys tell me they don't matter, but obviously you want the more possessions. Why? So we can score. Wow, isn't that an interesting analogy? I know it's like seems taboo, but that's my take on it. I feel like and I've been one of the goalie advocates guys for a long time too. I think elite goalie play 1000% matters. That I can't put a percentage on. That 1000% matters. The Buffalo Bandits do not win the finals without Matt Finch playing at an elite level. I will say that again. The Buffalo Bandits would not have won the NLL finals had Matt Finch not played at an elite level at the age of 40. That's a thing. I believe goalies, I'm not comparing the goalies in faceoffs. I think faceoffs are obviously not as important. But do I think they correlate to winning games? I don't care what stats you can throw at me. I don't care if the Son of God came down to me right now and said, hey, correlates to winning. It doesn't correlate to winning. Sorry, pal. That's what I tell him. I say sorry. Like, I don't think that's a hot take. I don't think it should be a hot take because I feel like, in my humble opinion, again, third year watching the NLL, I firmly believe a good offense wants more chances to score because then if you don't win the faceoff, the other team has the chance to score. And that has to matter. Like, the terminology does not correlate to winning is very, very interesting. Like, statistically speaking, no. But would I like a good faceoff player? Yeah. Interesting. Remember the NLL player last season? I want to make sure I get his name correctly. The guy from Halifax, I think. Oh, yeah, I don't even got to look it up. Jake Withers. Jake Withers was like one more than Trevor Baptiste could dream of doing. You don't think Halifax liked having that? I know liking and correlating to winning are two different things, but why would you want the face-offs to be won if you don't think it correlates to winning? Because in that case, I could just say, well, we'll put a cardboard box out there and we'll just keep our guys back. I mean, I don't know if that's legal or not. I doubt it is. But that's basically what you're doing. Like, we just put some random dude from anybody. When you say the words, it does not correlate to winning, you are telling me that if I'm in the stands of the Georgia Swarm game, which I was last year, it was fun. If I'm in Duluth, Georgia, and I'm Aubrey from Savannah, I've never played sports, you can put me in that game, and you are essentially telling me that your team would still win even though I lost every single face-off I faced. I don't agree with that. I think there is an element of victory to a face-off. And I think I would challenge anybody to not just show me stats, because I'm more of an explaining kind of guy. Like, you can show me stats all day long, but I think stats don't provide context to situations. And I feel like just because everybody kind of meets in the middle and it doesn't really have a big advantage, I think there is an advantage, though. Saying the words does not correlate to winning means you're literally saying I could go out there and you would still win your game. And I don't know if you would win it as easily. And if that's the case, it does have an advantage. Again, I don't know where this analysis came in, but I think if you want more possessions, you want more chances to score, you want to win face-offs, and that's because you think it contributes to winning. But the popular opinion is to say it doesn't. There you go. That's my take on that. Follow Daily Dive Lax, subscribe to Daily Dive Lax, etc. We do appreciate you guys so much for tuning in, whoever you are and wherever you are. So thank you once again. I know it's going to be fun adjusting to the 1 p.m. Eastern time slot, but we're going to get through it. I've enjoyed it. I like the fact that I don't think obviously based on what happened today, the Dane Smith, there's really a lot of news last year we did not get to see until the next day, because when our show ended, I think 1 o'clock is genuinely when things start breaking, if you will. So maybe they'll give us more opportunities to break stuff on the show like we did last year, because we got people to talk to. So yeah, for producer Joe and everyone behind the scenes at Daily Dive, thanks so much for tuning in to another great episode. I think it was a pretty good one. Shout out Dane Smith in Buffalo for your 5-year deal. Shout out Tanner Cook for your 3-year re-sign. I guess they're both. I guess if Tanner Cook re-signed, it would be like he had a year or two left. I don't know how that works. I want more transparency, but again, that's a story for another day. Have a great one, guys. We'll see you Monday. And yes, we will have guests next week. Just in case you guys were wondering about that. We had Steven Stamp. I think Steven Stamp's a good one. I had fun with that one. I encourage you guys to go watch that. But yeah, have a great rest of your day, guys. See you Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye.